Oh, the engine's coming out.
Alright, we're good. Go, 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 go! Whoa! Whoa!
Careful.
Way too quickly.
Hitting the motor mount.
I don't know what's happening.
There you
I
go.
don't really like standing here. Honestly.
Good job, guys.
Yeah. Alright, Lord.
Glad I could help. So we're getting ready to split the engine and the transmission now, and what are we doing that for? Just to check the flywheel?
We don't put the engine on the engine stand.
So we can
redo
valves.
And then we're
Oh,
gonna
that's a
put the
good
engine
idea.
on the back of Andrew's truck, and he's gonna drive through the rain really fast, and it'll be like a power washer.
Wow. And then he'll have two engines for four-wheel drive.
One for the front left wheel, one for the front right wheel.
Wait, what?
So right now we have it stripped down. We did try to run it at one point, and it didn't have any compression, so that didn't happen. So we have the head off, and we've lapped the valves. Now we're separating the engine and transmission. We're going to take the oil pan down because there's a ton of sludge in it, and we will be able to inspect the crankshaft and whatnot after we get that apart.
There's a bolt in there. Cries.
No.
It's there. No! Hey, hey.
There are 3 bolts that hold the,
Give me
the
credit.
bell housing to the engine block, and we just discovered that there was a 3rd one. We thought there were only 2, and the flywheel's not coming out, so we kind of have a dilemma.
We're gonna solve it. Don't worry, YouTube. We're gonna solve it.
Jake says we're gonna solve it.
We'll get it.
Do you trust him?
Yes. Leave it in the comments below.
0 out of 10 would trust.
All right, the 3rd upper bolt is off, the bell housing is off, and we have an engine block. So we're about to get that on the engine stand.
Missing 2 nuts.
How hard do we think this is gonna be?
From the kit.
Oh, I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Alright, so we have the engine block on stands, and we have to, what are we doing to the valves?
So, I took the valves are actually out. I don't know if you can see right here. We have it tipped sideways right now, but I have the valves out. So I pulled them out because they were getting stuck and we didn't have any compression. So I pulled them all out. And then I pulled the springs out, and you can actually just, reach in there and pull them out in my hand. That's what I did. And then I put the spring back in, and then the spring caps, whatever you call those. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the valves in. I have them all laid out right here, ready to go. And then those will slide back in, and then I have to compress this and get the valve locks, I guess you can call them.
Keepers. Valve
Keepers, yeah, valve keepers. I gotta squeeze those on there and then hold it and then release it using the valve compressor, and then that'll let the seat sit back down right on the keeper, and then that'll be all set with the valve, and hopefully we can throw a head on it and get compression.
We can pull this off too, right? Clean that off.
So.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take the oil pan off to get the sludge out of there, so we'll be back when that comes apart.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty ugly. Do we know how long? Ooh, what's down there? Are those metal pieces?
I hope not.
Is that the piece we're missing?
So before we keep going with this clip, you all should know that a valve keeper and a retainer had gotten loose during the removal of the valves before lapping them. Earlier in the night this video was taken, we almost took apart the engine in the parts truck to get a keeper and retainer, but it was cold and raining, so we went to the shop to do what we could without those parts. I managed to find the retainer, which had somehow landed inside the bottom of the front right wheel. The keeper was nowhere to be found until...
Ooh,
Oh, that's just...
this guy's good.
This is the piece you're
Sludge.
missing.
It
Right
is.
here.
It is the valve keeper.
Is that the valve keeper
Awesome.
right there?
Keeper, yeah.
It looks like it.
baby.
Shoot up, but yeah, that's it.
Yes!
Oh, did
It
it?
went through the crank.
No,
So it happened before?
I don't know.
Jake didn't lose
I
it?
think Eric
No,
found
that
that one
happened
too,
before,
so
'cause that
he's
was
2
me.
for 2 today.
But it's all
He's like,
dirty.
he's
It's got a lot of sludge in it, but it's okay.
Yeah, so that wasn't me because that was already off.
There's the oil pickup.
Yeah.
The oil
You
pump.
what?
So we have pull one off the other
Nice.
piece,
God, you guys
we
pulled
have
that
to
off.
we have to pull another one off.
Yeah, because that one's all chewed up.
No, this one's fine.
He says that one's fine.
Yeah, why'd you say it was
really
chewed
good.
up?
You just told me it was all chewed up.
It seemed like it was.
Oh, it's
but
fine.
Come on.
It was just
You gotta
metal
close
shavings.
up
There's
of
metal
it.
shavings in the pan.
That's awesome. So we didn't.
No,
have
that's
to,
not.
So that's a valve keeper.
Well,
That's
we
what
didn't
that
have to
is.
go out in the rain today.
So if you look on these valves, on the end of them, there's like a little slit right here, and when this goes in there like this, these have little I don't even know what they're called, but like valve caps, or the thin caps, I mean, for the valve. So this sits. You can kind of see that this end is very thin. I don't know if you can see that, and then this end is very thick. So the way it's designed is that so the thin end goes facing the top of the engine, so that it's like a cone almost. So that this, when this sits on there, it just goes right onto that, and then it stops at a certain point. So I don't know if you can kind of see that.
That's
But,
is that a chain? Is that a tiny chain or gears?
but there's two of these per valve. And again, they just sit right in there. You can see there's a little slit on the inside of that right there.
I'll see how they can
Oh, yeah.
And then that just goes in that groove.
Yeah.
Like that. And then you know I gotta get these in, and then you gotta compress it, and then you gotta put these in very carefully. But they fall out all the time, so you gotta have a way to hold it. So
Oh, yeah.
You gotta get this off.
I don't think there's any way that you could tighten that out.
Here's, took the timing cover off. There's the chain.
I don't think you can. I really don't think you can.
No, you have to get a new chain because it.
Well, look, and it's
all
on
these
those.
little links get a little bit looser, so you can slide them together and apart.
Oh yeah, see how you can't do that?
I don't know. But there's a spec, so we should look it up.
A little loose.
Do we have a small Andrew, can you grab the slider?
You may turn it.
That's fine. I'm just having a look.
Pretty cool.
But I flipped them when I showed the camera.
So we're reinserting the valves now.
Like this is.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
Oh, you got it, finger. All right, that's definitely in.
You didn't want to reuse that gasket, Johnny?
Do you want to?
No.
Okay. Because I can put it back together.
No, it's doing the same thing as last time. Let me try pushing on it. Watch out.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that worked.
That worked.
Sounded good.
Should have just done that last time.
There we go.
Nice.